Hello and welcome back to Learn With Me. In our last video, we have talked about basic functions, and in today's video, we'll be completing that functions topic. And today, we'll be talking about functions with parameters and arguments. If you haven't watched our previous video, I would highly recommend go and watch that before you watch this. So first, a function that you will build with parameters is, let's say, addition. So we define addition. If you don't know how to define functions, please go back and watch my last video because we have talked about basics of function there. Let's say we define an addition function print 5. It prints, let's say for example, we define a function called print 5. Now it's not printing because we haven't called it, but as you can see it's static, it's only printing 5. This is what we have taken in our last video. Now between the parentheses of the function name, we can give it parameters, arguments. So let's say we can give two numbers and we can print just the addition of two numbers. Now this kind of function is already built in Python, but I'm just giving you guys the basic syntax. We can say num1 and num2, number 1 and number 2. And in print we can say number 1 plus number 2. So you add both numbers and print it to me. And now let's call the function. Let's say we call the function with 10 and 20. So we want the output to be 30. Let's see what happens. As you can see, we have given the parameters and it's giving 30. Let's give once again with 110 and let's see what happens. As you can see, 110. So we can call it as many times as we want and it gives us output regarding the parameters that we have given it to. Let's copy that function again, add num1, num2. Now there's a very huge difference between print and return. Okay. Here we define the same function but with return. We're going to say return number 1 plus number 2. What's the difference? Sometimes you're calculating a huge, let's say password or login or anything. And when you just write print, for example, it's just showing in the console. But here what we do, whenever we call this function has a value. So we can store it in something. We can say sum equals to add. So we can say sum equals and then we call the function. So the function returns a number. So sum equals to the number that we're giving. Okay, like 1 and 1. So now sum equals to 2. So when you call the addition function that is up, it will not return something. It will just print it in the console. So ideally when you're building a full-fledged web application, it's not ideal to do print. Let's just print sum and see what happens. As you can see, we have stored the total addition in sum by calling the function equals to the sum. And one more example that many of us find, and we have talked about it in our previous video, is triangle. Now we can take the height of the triangle and use asterisks to build a dynamic triangle however big we want. So we're going to say triangle with height. For I in range of I to height plus 1. For I in range of I to height plus 1, let's say from 0 to 5 or whatever, we are going to print asterisk multiplied by, we're going to print the asterisk and string multiplied by I. Okay. So then call triangle with 2. As you can see, it will give a small triangle. So let's call the same thing with 5 and see the big triangle that we want. As you can see, it gives a right triangle. So we can make multiple shapes, building, anything like that. So that is for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys learned the concepts of function with and without parameters. If you learned or enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.